their strengths is and apply that to what their role should be, y'all relationships will work much out better. Like my strength is cooking, his is not. I'll do majority of the cooking, but that don't mean he don't. My husband don't got to come here sometimes and see what I'm doing. So if he stay home with the kids, he cooks macaroni and cheese and chicken nuggets for the kids. You know what I'm saying? So it just should play off of whose strengths and the weaknesses, but that doesn't mean like we got to leave them there and not strengthen on our weaknesses. But I don't know. Like I still let people have their autonomy. Like the way y'all function, relationships sometimes be up here sounding crazy to me. But I think everybody should have their opinion. You know what I'm saying? Without everybody trying to trample over each other to say that they have the right opinion when it's literally just that. But structure does need is necessary. And one thing I can say that I agree with you on, Leah. Maybe not the work thing, but since I've been traveling lately, Americans lack structure at a high degree. They don't want it. And I feel like a lot of times that's why people come over to this country because there's no structure here. You know what I'm saying? You're free to be all. Autonomy is at the highest here because you can make every decision on your own, including stupidity. You know what I'm saying? But structure is needed in a household. And for some of y'all to be in relationships without it, it exactly speaks to your upbringing. You was raised without it, so you're going to want a relationship without it. And that's why y'all relationships are going to continue to fall because nobody knows what to do. Because everything is all over the place. Well, I need to pay bills. I need to work. I need to do this. I need to, like, you know what I'm saying? When y'all should be like, okay, you going to work, I'll work. But this is what's going to go to the bills for me. And this is what I'm going to, and this is what you contribute. You just spend your money, woman, on getting the kids school supplies, stuff like that, taking care of my babies. I take care of the bills. Structure. Nobody got to question what their role is.
I just think, when we talk about this soft life, I'm creating a soft life for my lady so she could create an easy life for me. I don't know, one door open up another for me, man. I'm going to create the soft life for her so life could be easy for me.
That's how you're supposed to do it, get to it, yep.
Yeah, because once I create the soft life for her, like, that consists of, if you want to work, you don't have to work. Because I got it, right? You could do it if you want, because I'm not about to strip you from your ability. But if you want to do it, go ahead. But I want to minimize your ability to have to do some shit, right? As a single mother, you had to do some shit. Now you with me, you ain't gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? So she got a house, I got a house. I told her this straight up. Your house, I'm gonna move out of my house, right? I'm gonna rent my whole shit out. We're gonna buy a house together. Your house, that'll be your income. You don't need the income from your crib. We can rent that whole shit out. That's gonna be your income. She worked 2 jobs and she worked from home. I tell her all the time, quit one of them fucking jobs. We don't need you complaining about these jobs. Quit one of them. Whichever one makes more sense, stay with it, right? Because it gotta make sense with me too. It gotta make sense. You stay with the one that make more sense, and then your income is gonna come from your property. We're gonna vet that property out properly. We're gonna rent that shit out properly, get the most for it. That's your income. And I know when I create that life, what happens for me now, because she's already home, life becomes easier for me now. I don't have to rush home from work. I could do a little more overtime because she got shit going on. She got it. Certain shit, she got it. Yes, I'm not going to do all the overtime, but there's overtime given on my job. I don't know about y'all jobs, but when you do overtime, you're doing double overtime, and we get $19 on every hour that we do overtime annuity, right? So shit hitting over here.
Okay, brother, we know you work.
No. I'm just telling. This is how I talk to my lady. I'm like, baby, shit hitting over here. It ain't always gonna be hitting. No, I'm Jim. It ain't a bragging thing. I was basically talking how I be talking to her. Like, baby, this shit clicking over here. It ain't always gonna be jumping. So let daddy get this shit while it's hitting, right? And you do what you do. I'm gonna be over here getting to this shit over here. But sometimes I'm just not even gonna go to work. Sometimes I'm gonna take a whole week off just so that we can have us time. I don't know. I mean, create soft life so she can create easy life for you, man.
And guess what? That's why I said earlier, when you, as a person, when you like your person, you don't want to do nothing but alleviate their stress.
Yeah,
you don't want to do nothing. Yeah, you don't want to be. You don't want to do nothing but be the apple of their eye. Like this, nah, my person got me.
Leah, I just told my girl this the other day. I said, baby, 2 things I don't want to complain about: our jobs and money. 2 things. Everything else is gonna come with a little bit of everything. Those 2 things, I ain't in no business to complain about no money or our fucking jobs. If you got a problem with your job, let's fix it.
How it is right now, how much of the disaster.
Me?
Hey, Samir, go shampoo your hair. Looks like you got dandruff, girl.
So I got more seniority. I run shit. Like, I don't got the issues. If you got an issue, let's fix it and let's get to it. Because I ain't in no business to be complaining about shit when it comes down to jobs and
Okay,
money.
the cousin. Okay.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Sorry,
it's because they
IRL.
recording. We all gotta watch.
IRL, I apologize because y'all know I don't do it, but I apologize.
But you know, I was gonna say this, and yeah, the only doctor in the room for real is Dr. B, because he's the only doctor I seen really kick some health knowledge. But anyway, this is my thing, right? I will say this because I don't think nobody has said it on the stage yet.
He's not a
I
doctor.
do find it. He's a doctor of his own volition. Like at the end of the day, now. This is my thing, right? I will say this, because I don't think no woman has said it yet, and I like to be realistic. I do think it's unattractive to me, and it should be to most women if they were raised with proper structure, that a man who wants to use, like, even a word, man using the word cater to you, you know what I'm saying? I feel like a man that makes everything about his woman, I think it's a little bit unattractive, because at the end of the day, and I say this because women don't prioritize themselves as the women of these men for them to have their self-care put as high on the pedestal as mine is. I don't find that attractive, and I wish black men stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, you have to prioritize the catering for yourself as well. You know what I'm saying? And basically, like, what I'm saying is, a man, everything about a man can't be just his woman. Like, at the end of the day, like, and I feel like she has to speak, has to change that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like a situation where, you know what I'm saying, like, if you offer to do something to you, you have a massage day, you schedule all this stuff for you, that you turn it out. No. But what I'm saying is, I prioritize the self-care of my man just as much as myself, if not more. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, reciprocity looks to me as though we both prioritize at the highest degree self-care for each other. You know what I'm saying? Whereas though I don't even want him to feel as though, I'm projecting the idea that everything is all about me and our relationship. And I feel like that happens too much. Like, men feel like I sometimes, not saying humans get to it, but I feel like when men start expressing, you know what I'm saying, soft life, they only are prioritizing the woman as though who that's the major beneficiary of. And I feel like that's not true. You know what I'm saying? Like, my man benefits from the soft life from me too. He ain't never had a cold meal in our house. He ain't never had his shoes not taken off by me. He ain't never not had nothing in his house. You know what I'm saying? Which is exactly the soft life. Like, if I want him to get up and go to work every day, make sure I'm going to send him to bed with a full belly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to go into the whole empty nuts thing. I feel like that's just ridiculous. All right, women got to learn how to talk. But we all know that comes within the road. But I prioritize his soft life so it don't mine can continue. And it should be like that because I'm just going to be honest. All these women are not going to experience these men giving them soft life. I hate when we have this fake conversation because it's not going to happen. Because all of y'all don't even have soft life maintaining to give it to nobody. That's how I know they all not going to get it. But the simple fact is just that it comes with a higher level of reciprocity that people don't have an understanding of. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, women, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, when you hear people talk about stuff, like, oh, we talk about what is the women doing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I like to have healthy conversations. The men have to get prioritized in the soft life as well because at the end of the day, women want soft life. But if you ask these women, is your man fed every day? Have your man ever had a hot plate in his house consistently? Or is his meal in the warmer all the time? No, my man getting a hot plate. I don't care if I got to start making this an hour before he get home. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what the soft life is. He has a hot plate. His shoes are taken off. His bath water. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Some of that stuff is kind of like minute to me, micro level. But what I'm saying is, men have to make this a priority for themselves. Like, and I feel like sometimes, as I've been talking to black men, I understand why they're marrying outside of American women because this is the experience they're getting on the other side of the margin. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's something I champion all the time, but I'm coming around to understand it because at the end of the day, you have men who have been in relationships already that are saying now they're not about to deal with the low prioritization of themselves and what they need to continue to be happy. It's, you know what I'm saying? The happiness is not catered to one way.
The people who are going to vote for Trump do not deserve it. It's a calamity how dumb this person is. And that she's been placed in this position by her party, by fiat, without anybody. There are smart people in the Democrat Party. She's just not one of them.
Now I gotta worry about this, that, and the third. Make her life so she gonna make my life easy.
So I was listening to you say that.
Yo, listen. You wanna fight me? We meeting up in Dion in February or not?
I'm already here, so come on. I'm
coming in February.
That nigga said he want the show.
That's my boy.
Get it off my balcony.
That's my brother.
Get to it. So you said you work hard to give her the soft life.
No, I didn't say that. So if you want to ask me, I work hard. Yeah. I didn't say I work hard to give her the soft life. I work hard because that's what I do.
Okay, so you do work hard. Okay. Let's separate. You work hard and you give her the soft life. And then in turn, you give her the soft life and makes your life easier. Is that what you said?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so why, since you're already working hard, why don't you just give yourself an easier life since you're already working hard?
Because I have 2 kids and they live with me full time. So
you have kids with her?
No, I have my own kids.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to me saying I want to work hard and live easy. I got 2 kids, so I can't do both. I can either minimize my work and be more with my kids, which I am. That's what I do now. But if I got a lady in my corner, I can create the soft life for her.
I agree with him as well. He's going to say that as well. And so
I'm doing everything. I'm doing literally everything. Like, you hear my kids, they running around the house. It's me and them. I'm doing everything. Feeding them, cooking. I'm about to bathe her. I'm doing everything. Homework. I'm doing everything. I'm about to bathe my daughter. Huh?
Wow.
Bathe my daughter? That's wild.
Yeah, I'm definitely not bathing kids.
I gotta bathe my daughter. We're gonna do it. She's 5. What are you talking about? Come on.
She's 5? She don't take all the things?
My daughter's 5. Nah, she needs this.
My son was taking his own.
I hear you. That's a boy. My son was doing his at 3. We ain't gonna. What we not gonna do? Alright, so I said what we not gonna do is this. Okay, we gonna move past this.
That's what I wasn't moving past it. I'm just saying though, like my son, like at 3 I was like, go wash your balls, nigga.
I mean, I did that with my son too, cause it was simple work for him. Go wash up. My daughter, yeah, it's work with girls. You got a daughter?
No, man.
You'll never understand until you get one. It's different type of work.
Never want to understand these days.
I mean, I love you. No, I love you.
You a daughter. I don't understand also giving women a soft life at all. Because why would a man do that? You should be giving yourself the soft life as a man and letting her work hard for her life like God intended for her to do. God didn't ever tell y'all to take care of these women. Don't let these women work. God wants these women in the field doing real. You know what I'm saying? Tell me your favorite woman from the Bible, and I'll tell you what she did. They was all working, right? Eve was working Adam's nerves. Like even then, they was always working. Y'all out of God's order, doing things like taking women and not letting them work. Then they be getting lost and confused because they don't be knowing what to do, man. So y'all be giving these women false hope, and now you got the burner accounts and the no man having no lovers. Always cheering y'all on. That's what y'all be doing. Y'all be manipulating. Y'all be manipulating the women who don't get love into believing into the Disney fairy tale princess stuff. Then they wake up and they're 40 and they still looking in the mirror and then they see Cruella looking back instead of Cinderella. You're like, what happened to my youth? So, keep selling the dreams, get to it to these women. They gonna keep buying it and you just gonna keep living your life. But all the rest of the fellas, anyway, I finished. No, on my last sentence.
Dialogue with you, brother?
No, after I'm done. My last sentence is, fellas, why is the IRL person in the chat? I'm getting triggered. There's an IRL. Where did that come from? Fellas, give yourself the soft life because you're the one working for it. Why would you work hard to give a woman a soft life that she didn't earn? She's been out here with niggas with no job, who can't read, who can't put on clothes that match, and she gave him the same coochie that you are working 80 hours to get. Fellas, why would you do that? Give yourself the soft life.
Facts!
Then enjoy your life. Let your dollars work for you. Don't let your dollars work for her. What are y'all doing, fellas? No. This is God's word, not no hustle. Make the woman go to the field and till the field. Didn't like Jacob see Rebecca working in the field when Jacob saw her? Like she's supposed the brides are supposed to be out here in the fields doing something. And y'all out here saving the brides. You wonder why God mad at y'all. Amen. I'm done.
Hey,
God works. I know it. No, come on, man.
I think he's gonna go on the whole soliloquy and don't let your money work for her.
Monologue.
You didn't notice I said her property gonna be her income.
Monologue.
Look, her property ain't had nothing to do with my money. I said her property gonna be her income. I'm not really feeding into what you said because I know that you speaking truth to the people who deserve what you're saying. But what I will say is that nothing. I ain't got nothing to say.
So get to it. You already treating her like a wife, and y'all ain't even married yet. She ain't got no incentive to marry.
I mean, we 2 weeks away from proposal, and we September 21st, the date to marry. I mean, shit, she
Y'all get married the 21st.
Oh, September 21st, 2025. Absolutely.
A year from now. Okay, got it.
Yeah, we got our date already.
Come on up,
she already getting the milk for free from you, though.
Nah, listen, bro. I ain't front, man. I don't know, man. Maybe. Well, get out my room.
See, look, you don't even sound you don't sound convinced.
No, my kids confusing like they want me to apply.
Twice if you need help.
Nah, twice, bro. I actually signed up for this one here, bro. I got a choice and I make mine.
So you want to get married is what you saying?
I've been a husband.
I know, and you didn't. But you're not a husband anymore.
It took the right one to make me want to be a husband again.
How do you know this?
Oh my God,
you
are so
the right one, did you?
I wouldn't be proposed.
I wouldn't be the first one was the right one.
Well, I thought it was. Listen, Mr. B, there's levels to this shit.
Well, hold on. What's the levels to this shit?
Where I'm at now versus where I used to be. Levels to this
you
shit.
In Brooklyn now? You was in the Bronx?
Oh, God. You was a goddamn
Hold on. So, Dr. B, are you saying that it is impossible for you to find the woman who caters to all of your intricate and nuanced needs as a man?
Is it impossible? No.
You say that is an impossible thing?
It's not impossible.
Okay. But you think it's unlikely? You feel it is entirely unlikely?
Well, I would need more variables to determine actually to make that assessment. But I'm just saying because Get To It said he felt it took the right woman. And I'm like, well, didn't you think the first wife was the right woman? And he said, yes. Well, how do you know you're not mistaken again? Like you've already swung and missed. How do you know you're not about to swing and miss again? That's not me being, that's not shade. That's just me looking at it from the outside looking in. Like everybody thinks the person that marries the right person. Whoever would admit, yeah, I'm not marrying the right woman today, but I'm still going to marry her. Like everybody goes in thinking they're marrying the right person till they find out they're not the right person. So you don't know until you don't know.
Well, I think
you don't know what you don't know until you know.
I think sometimes
is that Raquel with new hair? Raquel, you got new hair today? You got curls today? You know your abuelita going to tell you straighten that hair. Don't be having no curly hair, girl. Go in there and straighten tu pela, tu sabe. Don't get me out here, get me angry. She throw a chancleta at your head for having curly hair. So I wish you luck. Don't get to it though, man. I wish all my brothers luck who take the step in marriage because I think you're all crazy and insane.
Amazing.
But you're gonna need blessings from heaven to for it to work. And I.
I don't know. For you.
Why?
Everybody's not supportive of anything. Yeah. But why do people come up so we in the hallway talking?
Yeah, TC, let's not do that.
Hey, what's going on?
So TC, you can have the conversation, but let's not try to use sexual
I didn't say anything about his sexuality.
Try this shit again.
No, I was saying TC don't use his sexuality as talk.
No, because that's what he's gonna respond. I didn't say anything about his sexuality. Try it again.
Oh, y'all welcome to talk about my sexuality all day you want.
No, we don't want to talk about your sexuality. We want to talk about Corey's. Let's just have a conversation on what's going on politically. That's it.
Yeah, it's a good conversation, y'all. It's a good conversation.
People's sexuality has to be protected because, I got you. I follow you. Okay, no worries. Anytime y'all want to have a conversation about my sexuality, let's have
we don't care because
all
anyway, TC.
right, stick on the topic. Stick on the topic.
You might be Mark Robinson, TC. You might be Mark Robinson, TC, talking shit.
So the only reason, TC, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I think we gotta, like, when it comes to civil rights, I'm 100% on that. I don't care if you're Black, Asian, Puerto Rican, fucking gay, whatever, right? So we gotta respect people when it comes to that. But you want to debate somebody on policy, 100%, I got you. You should protect me, so I'm gonna protect you in some aspects, but I'm still gonna cuss your ass out when you say some dumb ass shit. You know I love you, but I don't know what the fuck is going on in the last 2 months with you.
I like it when you do that. You can cuss me out any time of the week. I don't know what I said about the dude's sexuality. I could care less about his sexuality. Did I say something about his sexuality?
Didn't I just tell y'all he was gonna say that?
I mean, tell me what I said.
And Corey, didn't I just tell y'all he was gonna say that? Textbook.
What did I say? I said he was talking to a real black man. He's talking about these effigies of black men, like these characterizations of black men that don't want to take these jobs and think that they're going to turn to a podcast as their ticket out. I'm a real black man. I grew up in the hood, and I had my ticket out was through business.
You a real black man who doesn't respect black woman, right?
It wasn't through some $65,000 a year check that I got from somebody else. Listen, big ups to the guy that's trying to bring the dudes out of the hood, but maybe what he's offering is not appetizing to the guys he's trying to attract. Has that ever crossed your mind? Has it ever crossed your mind that $65,000 just don't do it for us anymore? Has it ever crossed your mind that people that are in business, in legitimate business, are making 6, 7 figures, 8 figures a year? That's a little bit more appetizing to us than a $65,000 check. Maybe he's reaching out to the wrong folks. Maybe he should be reaching out to another community that might be enticed with the $65,000 check.
Let me cut in to ask you a question. What's the median income? I'm gonna ask you a question because you posited something as if I didn't know the answer. So what's the median income for the average black man in Auburn, Gresham, Inglewood, or Roseland in Chicago?
I don't engage in low energy.
You can say I don't know, TC, because I don't know. What is it, Corey?
Yeah, it's $33,000 a year.
I don't care.
It's 33, but that's the point that you just made. That's the point that it's not advertising, and it's double what the median is for men in those communities. So what the fuck are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. You're just talking. You're just talking. I don't care what you made. The point was not about what you made.
TC, it's like
the point was not about what you made.
Back when you used to be on the Democratic side, you had you had better talking points. Now it's like you're trying to change your own mind and you're coming with these freaking.
Patty, here's the thing, right? In 2020, I made negative $87,000 in 2020.
What was the point of you fucking supporting Biden back 2 months ago?
I don't know. I'm talking about what Corey is trying to bring up as some sort of like inflection point in the conversation. It doesn't matter what the average black man makes. If he's hustling hard and he's putting money into his business, I don't give a damn if he makes $33,000 or negative $33,000. If he's pulling up on his hustle, he's doing what he's supposed to do because he's not satisfied with getting a check from corporate America. But
TC, we all know, the ones that used to, like Haitian may know, I know the reason why you would have took a dive during certain parts of each administration. We know the pandemic was an issue, but what did it have to do with politics?
Yet again, he makes assumptions about me that he knows nothing about. What check do I get from corporate America, TC?
Corey, lead annual.
I'll be honest with you. The Republican Party is not interested in
average of a typical black household. The net worth of a typical black household in the United States is $44,000. This guy is offering $21,000 more annual income than the entire net worth of a typical black household in the United States.
That's the problem. That's the problem with the mentality in this room. You think that black men are satisfied with what's typical and what can be achieved through standard commerce or commercial checks.
Everybody cannot be.
Let me explain something to you. Explain something to you. I don't care what the average earning income historically is of the average black man. The reason why the black man is turning to a party that can provide more for him than just a corporate welfare check is because the Republican Party is setting up policies that benefit business owners, people that have property, people that have wealth that can pass on to their kids. Maybe this didn't cross your minds before you guys got into this conversation, but it's possible that a check that dies when the man dies is no longer advertising to black American men. Maybe because black American men are more fixated on the idea that we can have wealth that can pass down to our second, third, and fourth generation. And that's not coming from the garbage man company. That's not coming from the corporation. That's not
it's not happening.
The Democrats want to give you union jobs. We're not interested in union jobs.
It doesn't happen.
You know why? We're interested in our own LLCs. We're interested in our own LLCs.
Okay, TC, true or not? Have most businesses made more money historically under Democratic presidents?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Of course you don't.
I haven't adjusted income earnings under presidential administration. I can tell you this. I can tell you the average black man that owns a business is much wealthier than the average black man that gets a check.
What's the average income for a black man that owns a business? Tell us, TC, what is it? What's the average income for a black man that owns a business?
It's higher.
What is higher? What is it?
Higher.
What's the number?
Higher. Excuse me.
What's the number?
What happened to the S&P 500 under the Obama administration? And we were after 2008. What happened to the S&P? It tripled.
He's just talking.
Like Democrats, business owners have made more money under a Democratic president than a Republican president.
Kamala is offering a 50K tax break. So if that's what you want to do, then it would probably be favorable for you to vote for Kamala.
Tell us a single policy initiative of Donald Trump-led Republican administration that helped the small businesses instead of multi-billion corporates. A single policy initiative that put small businesses over the interests of multi-billion corporates. One policy initiative, single, just one.
And if you look at each Democratic president, we've had higher GDP growth under each one of them. Do a simple Google search and see what the GDP growth looks like under each president, whether it's Democrat or Republican.
It is almost like clockwork. 1% from the bottom 90% to the top 1%, that leads to fall in demand and population, that leads to decrease in the growth rate of GDP, that leads to recession. It started from Richard Nixon in 1970s and up to Donald Trump. It's almost like clockwork. There has not been a single exception to this massive transfer of wealth from the bottom 90% to the top 1 or top 0.1% of any Republican president. They always do this. And when all that money is stolen from the working class hands, they spend less. When they spend less, the demand dies down in the market, which leads to recession. Nixon did it, Reagan did it, Bush Sr. did it, Bush Jr. did it, Donald Trump did it. Donald Trump fucking printed $3 trillion in a single fiscal year. That was twice the amount of total. That was the same. The total currency in existence existence in US economy, he just doubled that in a single year. And you just got a $1,200 stimulus check. All of those $3 trillion printed, 75% of all that money went straight to the top 1%. Straight to nowhere else. And they promised in return for all those huge investments by the government, they promised that they are going to retain workers and they are going to not cut salaries. When Donald Trump gave that money to his billionaire pedophile friends, guess what they did? They went ahead and fired people. They went ahead and cut salaries. It's clockwork, DC. These guys, their real constituency is the billionaire corporate class. Donald Trump has never hung out with someone like you, me, or anybody else. The only people he knows is Joe Epstein and Diddy and all these morally corrupt grifters who have just by the stroke of luck happened to become billionaires. He doesn't know people like us. There is not even a single friend he has which earns less than $1 million a year. He has no connections to us or anything else. You can at least say Kamala Harris at least came up from a household which knows which was working class. So she at least know how the real human beings work. He has no fucking clue. Just look at his tax legislation in 2006. He gave $250,000 worth of benefits to everybody who was earning more than $400,000 a year. The top 0.1%, for $400,000, it was $60,000 worth of tax benefits. For the top 0.1%, it was $250,000 worth of tax benefits annually. Guess what he gave to people who were earning $77,000 or less? $500. He gave $500 to the bottom 70% of the population of USA. The less than $30,000, the bottom 10% of the population, which is poor, he gave them $20 worth of tax benefits. Imagine $20 in a whole year. That's what he gave to the working class and to the poor. Couldn't give fuck. Tell me one single policy initiative. It's still the same question, which Donald Trump took, which prioritized small business owners over the billionaire class.
I was searching for this. It took me a long time to get it, but I finally got it. I put the link in the chat. For those of you who don't read, I'll read a little bit small snippet of this for you. It says black business growth was trending upward before COVID-19 pandemic. And this is from the Brookings Institute, which is a nonpartisan study group. It says from 2017 to 2020, the number of black-owned businesses across the country increased by 13.64%, larger than all businesses in general, which increased by 0.53% over the same time period. Black-owned firms brought in an estimated $141.1 billion in gross revenue in 2020, an 11% increase since 2017. Donald Trump was elected in 2016. We saw black business booming to the increase of about 11% by 2020. Remind me again how the Trump administration hasn't delivered for black businesses. I'm going on mute.
You did not answer my question. I asked about a policy initiative. I will answer this fact that you presented, which is true. I will answer that.
SBA lending there was SBA spending and SBA lending that skyrocketed under the Trump administration.
What do you mean by SBA lending, SBA spending?
Just look at SBA lending under the Trump administration.
Tell us the full form of SBA.
I'm happy to get the numbers for you. You can go and look it up for yourself.
The full form.
I just gave you one data point. What do you mean? What is SBA?
SBA. Yeah, I don't know. Tell me about it.
Small Business Administration is a department of the federal government that assists in lending to small businesses. Do I need to educate you on anything else?
No, sir, you do not. We are good to go.
What the hell you were talking about? Because you spent 15 minutes on mute trying to find something.
Yeah, I know exactly. No, I spent 15 minutes on mute trying to support what I said, which is what I did. And what I tracked was the time period from 2017 to 2020, which fell under the Trump administration. Black businesses grew by 11%, more than any other category, by the way.
Did not start growing from 2017. Black businesses
Black
businesses started growing from 2013. Well, and do you know why they started growing from 2013? Because the black household wealth and the black businesses had peaked in 2008. And that's when the George Bush Jr. came along and it destroyed the United States economy, which Obama somehow managed to just managed to recover.
Wait.
The general economy
peaked in 2008. You know who was president?
You need to calm down completely before you can form an argument, counter argument to at times. Before 2008, just like in 1970s, the black household wealth started to accumulate because it was the first time they had civil rights and they could actually own houses. So what did Ronald Reagan do? He went and asked his CIA stooges and he introduced crack in projects and that destroyed black household wealth that had started to accumulate.
Prove it. How do you know that? This is propaganda.
These are declassified United States government documents which state that United States
to the conversation. I don't believe what you're saying.
United States Air Force pilots landed on United Air Force stations and they brought tons and tons of cocaine, which was then purified into crack cocaine and distributed throughout the project.
Black median household income and that
because when
black businesses in 2008. No. I'm doing the same thing.
Let him finish, TC. And then you can respond, please. TC, please.
Yeah, because when black adult folks are doing crack, they cannot go outside and earn an income. It's pretty simple. And after that, 35 years, the black household wealth started to accumulate again. And it was again the second time in the history of US that black people started owning their own homes. By 2007, it had peaked and black businesses have peaked. What George Bush did was destroyed the whole economy. Barack Obama gave out $800 billion to get his corporate stooge friends. Congress blocked him from giving $600 billion to the poor black household, to poor households, which included a substantial number of black households. Because guess what? On average, a typical net worth of a black household is $44,000. So black households are poor. So the Congress did not approve that part of the plan. Forbade Barack Obama, restricted him from giving all that money, and that in result destroyed black businesses and black household wealth. It took 5 years for the black community to get back on its leg, and that's why from 2013 you will see a consistent growth in small black businesses because they were destroyed in 2008 and they started growing up again. So you will see a consistent rise from 2013 up to now. But the reason is not that they are doing exceptionally well. The reason was they were decimated from 40 to 0. Now they have started again from 0 and they have barely reached 40 where they were in 2008.
So a whole bunch of propaganda that's not supported by any factual evidence or any evidence whatsoever. But we have to digest it. Hey, let me ask you a question. When did the crack epidemic crest for Black America, inhibiting our ability for home ownership and median household income?
First, let me find the source for how
Ronald
Reagan introduced.
But you didn't answer my question.
Let's go one by one.
And you didn't answer his either, so it's a wash. That's where we are. We'll call it even since you didn't answer his.
He actually said, so we're going to let TC speak, but he actually said give him a second so he can go ahead and pull the source, right? And you was on mute and you pulled your source, so let him pull his.
Yeah, here's the problem with that.
By the time you could find out one single policy initiative that Donald Trump took that helped small businesses or black households. One single initiative.
And don't say SBA because SBA was way before him.
Listen, I don't know what type of paradigm you guys are living in. It's clearly not a realistic paradigm. Let me explain something to you. Okay, black income and black wealth went up from the 40s to the 60s and late 70s because of the Great Migration. The Great Migration had a lot more to do with home ownership and black wealth in this country than any crack epidemic or Reagan policy. Remember, Reagan was president while we were experiencing an economic boom in the black community because they moved up north and started working in the factories.
And you don't want to take into consideration the reason why there was a boom in small businesses is because of the pandemic and people couldn't go to work, right? So you don't want to take that into consideration. But you want us to take all this other shit into consideration. You know damn well the only reason why there's people that's been on Clubhouse that actually said, yeah, when I lost my job, I had a thing with candle making and I got good at it, so I started selling candles. I started selling soaps. People start doing shit to make money. So it's not a fair comparison. Folks wasn't working. They had to figure out how they could make money from home.
Yeah.
So like I was saying, this guy clearly introduced crack from the 1940s to the 1960s and late 70s, early 70s, black income boomed in this country. In direct contravention to what you're suggesting. Because what you're suggesting is that black income only saw a boom under the Biden-Obama administration in 2008, which couldn't be further from the truth. More home ownership under Reagan administration than you had under the Obama administration.
Yes, if you had bothered listening. And after the 1960s civil rights movement, the black households finally got a right to own property in the United States. That led to huge increase through the 60s and 70s. Then in 1970, Ronald Reagan came along with the Iran-Contra affair. I have put the Wikipedia link in the chat. Kindly go forward and look. So what he essentially did was, he wanted to subvert a socialist democratic elected government in Nicaragua. And he wanted the United States to attack Nicaragua so that that elected democratic government could be ousted. But the Congress refused to help him go to war. So what he did was, he went to his good friend Pablo Escobar. He asked him to sell drugs inside the United States, and from all that money proceeds, buy weapons and send them to the Nicaraguan rebels, which the United States government was sponsoring. And that's why the crack cocaine got introduced in the projects. How did the whole world find out about it? They find out about it in a Senate investigative committee. There was a United States Army Marine Colonel who accepted it in front of the whole world on TV in a Senate hearing. And there is the link. And it was the thing that happened. If you haven't actually read it, it's mind-boggling. You wouldn't even believe it. It was Iran after the Islamic Revolution, and we hated Iran. But we needed money to finance the logistics for the Nicaraguan rebels. So we sold weapons through Israel, Egypt, and other countries. We sold weapons to Iran so that they paid us the money. Not us, the government the money, and the government then used that money to help the Nicaraguan rebels. That was one part of this Iran-Contra affair. The second part was CIA bought drugs inside the United States on government aeroplanes, and it was sold in the projects in the form of crack cocaine, and the proceeds were then used to finance the US-sponsored war in Nicaragua. All of this is open for public information. Why? Because it happened in the front of the world, inside the United States Congress, in front of the senators. These questions were asked and they were truthfully answered. Go ahead, check it out. this will be really agitating.
And you're not being fair using the Reagan administration. You got to remember they were coming out of inflation. So you go from an 18% to a 10% interest rate. So yeah, they're going to buy homes. It's almost half of what they would have been paying for homes originally, probably years prior. People are going to jump on it. You go from 7 to 3%, people are going to jump on home purchasing.
He destroyed finances war in Nicaragua because Congress refused to give him money straight up. So he needed to gather money through covert sources, and the covert source of the money was $5 bills from a black adult, so that he can get hooked on crack cocaine and not go outside, earn money, and buy houses, instead spending all that money on the crack, so that it can go to Uncle Sam, not Uncle Sam, but Ronald Reagan or the Republican Party, so that they could finance their war in South America. I posted the link. All of this, the primary source, you can just straight up go to United States Congress and you can just read through the transcripts. I don't remember the name of that United States Marine Colonel. If you just read his interrogation by the senators, like, either you will just laugh your shit out, or you will lose sleep at nights, because there are plenty of examples of government working against its own population, but it is very difficult to trump that.
Hey, who in Kamala team was it their idea to do the All in Smoke podcast? I don't think that's the best podcast to go on. Like, so I think that's like already her demographic. Like, you know what I mean? If she's trying to attract new kind of voters.
I mean, it's a good idea. I was having a discussion with one of my buddies about a judicial candidate and a state rep candidate for helping out, and we were talking about radio versus like internet, and that you should definitely like add to radio because that gets you to your old base, right? But if you engage in the internet stuff, that brings you new folks. I mean, it's a good idea to get into the digital world. That's not my particular specialty on campaigns, but from the conversation we had, it's a really good idea.
No, I agree. Going on a podcast, I agree. Going on a podcast is a great thing. I just don't think they should have chose that particular one. That's what I'm watching.
But who listens to All in Smoke? Young black kids, right?
It's mainly a sports crowd, so that's a very niche.
Right. But it's young black men that she's having. It's black men, period, that she's having issues with, right? So who's going to be her target audience?
I think. Listen,
black young men.
Yeah. But if the campaign was really in tune with like the culture, she should have gave Cam and Mace, man, that shot, man. You know, that's what it told me. They really in tune. They listening. Up in Smoke, All in Smoke. I don't know. That's my only thing about that. I don't know.
And the United States Congress found pictures of CIA officers with Pablo Escobar and his friends putting hundreds and thousands of kilos of cocaine on.
Yeah, but the United States government has been in business with drug lords since the mid-70s, at least.
That is, Marshall, before you came along, that is precisely what we were discussing, how during the 1970s, Iran and decimated black households, black communities, because he introduced crack.
No, I was specifically referring to the declassified memorandums of the CIA Operation COINTELPRO. Right, that's the United States government getting directly involved in the drug trade in Central and South America. Not to mention pushing it on young black men in Compton.
COINTELPRO was the mass counterintelligence campaign against the population of United States. That was spying on the people of citizens of United States by FBI. That's COINTELPRO. I think you are mixing up two different things.
No, sir. The declassified documents for COINTELPRO showed directly that the Central Intelligence Agency used drugs and sold them in the United States to get money to fight people in Central and South America. Now, I don't remember if that's specifically the Contras, but I can tell you for a fact that actually happened. The United States intelligence agencies definitely got independent drug lords. It's been that way for a really long time.
CTC, once you start reading, even in the worst hypothetical scenario, even if I accept that Democratic Party does not care much about the black folks. Okay, let's even accept that they don't care much about the black folks. Republican Party wants to reduce the black community to its erstwhile state of slavery. They don't even want you black folks to live as human beings. And that is again and again demonstrated through the policy initiatives that Republican Party has taken through time and time. Whether it be Ronald Reagan, whether it be Nixon, whether it be George Bush Senior, Junior, it's a pattern. They want you to be a slave. At least don't choose that party. Go ahead and choose Jill Stein, RFK, or whatever you want, but at least don't vote for your oppressor. And Aaron, if you are here, I don't know about the second part of COINTELPRO that Marshall just stated, that COINTELPRO also included the selling of drugs. I thought it was the counterintelligence operation against the citizens of USA. Do you know anything more about that?
Me, I luckily kept documents from my class in American Empire, so I'll dig them up and I'll send them to you. But they come out of a university access to something known as the Declassified National Security Archive. And like I said, I have actual paper copies of stuff. I don't think a regular average citizen can get access to the Declassified National Security Archive unless they have some sort of university access. It's like getting access to university research engines. Right? Some of that stuff you can only get access to while you're at school. But yeah, I'd be happy to send you the papers I have.
Post them in the chat, Marshall.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, brother Marshall.
TC, you still there, or are you looking up something so you can fight with us again?
No, I'm just finding it completely jarring, as my battery's about to die, that we saw such an economic boom for black businesses under Trump. I mean, 14%, more than any other ethnic group or racial group compared in that same time period. That's crazy. I mean, I don't know how Democrats justify that. These guys talking about crack epidemic, Obama, housing. I don't know what the hell he's talking about, but it's just jarring. I'm reading more into it and realizing that black businesses, not only did they grow, but they thrived from 2017 to 2020.
We had incentives too, right, TC? We had the pandemic, we had the PPP loans, we had the SBA loans, we had incentives. So we're not going to pretend that the pandemic is not the reason why a lot of these businesses popped up.
No, I mean, listen, I'm not necessarily debating that. I'm just making the point and the inference that you can't conclude anything other than the fact that Donald Trump was good for black businesses. We saw a crest under the Trump administration.
I think China in the wet market, or maybe Wuhan lab, whichever one it is.
Just take away the fact that the Trump administration gets the benefit from that data point. But I'm in a kid's place, so I got to go back on mute.
Cooking, y'all. I'm sorry. Oh, shit.
Aaron, if you're here, I want to know about do you know about American Enterprise Institute, Thomas Mann American Enterprise Institute, or Marshall if you do?
I think they're on mute right now. So y'all want to talk about what's going on with Hezbollah and Israel? Oh my God.
So, American Enterprise Institute is a conservative, right-wing conservative policy think tank. And one of the board members of that think tank is Thomas Mann. Thomas Mann, Thomas Mann, 4 to 5 years ago, called Republican Party a radical insurgency bent on subverting the American democracy. Now, this is a right-wing conservative policy think tank calling the Republican Party a radical insurgency which wants to destroy American democracy.
Right. I'm not taking any arguments that. Hold on. Does anybody have anything they want to talk about? Marshall, Justin, Corey, and Tony, Lucy, Anna. Oh, I'm cooking, Eduardo. I'm cooking. I'm sorry. And it's not chicken. I'm trying to make blackened salmon. Well, thank you for coming. I think I'm going to close down the room because nobody has anything to talk about. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.